Could Jesus Christ return in the 21st century? It's a question that has captivated theologians and believers for centuries. The Bible provides clues, glimpses into God's timeline. While we cannot know the exact day or hour, exploring these clues can deepen our understanding of God's plan. One fascinating aspect of this question is the way God perceives time. Unlike us, bound by the limits of our human experience, God exists outside of time. This divine perspective on time is crucial to comprehending the potential timing of Christ's return. Could the events of our current century align with God's ancient prophecies? Let's delve into the scriptures and explore the possibilities, keeping in mind the vastness of God's plan and the limitations of our human understanding. The Apostle Peter offers a profound insight into God's perception of time, a concept that transcends our earthly understanding. In his second epistle, Peter writes with a wisdom that has echoed through the ages, but do not forget this one thing, dear friends. With the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. This profound statement challenges our conventional views of time. This verse underscores the vast difference between our human understanding of time and God's eternal perspective, a perspective that is limitless and boundless. 1,000 years, a period encompassing generations of human history, is but a day to the Lord, illustrating his omnipotence and timeless nature. This concept can be challenging to grasp as we measure our lives in minutes, hours, and years, constantly aware of the ticking clock. However, by embracing this truth, we begin to appreciate the grand scale of God's plan, a plan that unfolds beyond our limited perception. God is not bound by the constraints of time as we are, for he exists outside the realm of time. He sees the beginning and the end simultaneously, holding all of history in his hands. This understanding is vital when considering the timing of Christ's return, reminding us to trust in God's perfect timing and eternal wisdom. The book of Hebrews introduces the concept of God's rest. There remains then a Sabbath rest for the people of God. For anyone who enters God's rest also rests from their works, just as God did from his. This passage refers to the seventh day of creation when God rested after completing his work. This Sabbath rest is not merely a physical rest, but a spiritual one. It signifies entering into a state of complete peace and harmony with God. This concept is central to understanding the potential timing of Christ's return. Could this Sabbath rest be linked to a specific time frame in human history? Some believe that it points to a 1,000-year reign of Christ on earth, a period of unprecedented peace and righteousness. To further explore this concept, we must consider the Jewish calendar. Unlike the Gregorian calendar, which is solar-based, the Jewish calendar is lunar-based. This difference is significant because it results in different year lengths and consequently a different calculation of time. The Jewish calendar is central to understanding biblical prophecy, as it was the calendar used by Jesus and the apostles. It provides a unique framework for understanding God's timing and plan. The Jewish calendar is not merely a system of tracking time, it is deeply intertwined with Jewish history, culture, and religious observance. By understanding its intricacies, we gain valuable insights into God's Word. Section 5, 5785 and counting. The current year, according to the Jewish calendar, is 5785. This dating system places the creation of the world at the beginning of the first year. According to Jewish tradition, a millennium is a significant period, marking a distinct epoch in God's plan. With the Jewish calendar currently in its sixth millennium, some believe that the seventh millennium could hold profound significance. Could this upcoming millennium be the Sabbath rest spoken of in Hebrews? If we consider the potential alignment of God's day with 1,000 years, the seventh millennium of the Jewish calendar aligns intriguingly with the possibility of Christ's return and subsequent reign. Section 6, 1,000 years of peace. The book of Revelation describes a future period of 1,000 years when Satan is bound and Christ reigns on earth. This is a time prophesied to bring about a new era of tranquility and divine governance. This period, often referred to as the millennium, is a time of peace, justice, and righteousness. It is a golden age where humanity lives in harmony, free from the influence of evil. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, a vision of divine justice being administered. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, those who stood firm in their faith despite persecution, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. These were the faithful who resisted the temptations and deceptions of evil. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years, Revelation 20, verse 4. This reign signifies a period of unparalleled spiritual fulfillment and divine leadership. This 1,000-year reign is not merely a symbolic representation, but a literal period of time. It is a promise of a future reality where divine order prevails. It is a time when God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven, a period where the divine plan is fully realized, bringing ultimate peace and harmony to all creation. Section 7. The final deception. However, Revelation also reveals that after the 1,000 years, Satan will be released for a short time, a period that will test the faith and resolve of humanity. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, bringing with him a wave of deception and chaos, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, spreading lies and false promises, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Revelation, July 8, 20. This army will be vast and formidable, seemingly unstoppable. This release of Satan will lead to a final rebellion against God, culminating in a great battle, a clash between the forces of good and evil. This final conflict will mark the definitive end of evil and the ushering in of a new heaven and a new earth, a realm of eternal peace and righteousness. The deception perpetrated by Satan will be powerful and widespread, reaching every corner of the globe and affecting countless lives, testing the faith of even the most devout, challenging their beliefs and convictions. However, this final rebellion will be swiftly and decisively crushed by God, ensuring that justice and truth prevail in the end. Section 8. Parallels in history. Throughout history, we see echoes of this coming conflict. Empires rise and fall, nations clash, and ideologies compete for dominance. These events, while significant in their own right, can also be seen as foreshadowing the ultimate battle between good and evil. Just as God intervened in the past to deliver his people and judge wickedness, so too will he act decisively in the future. The final battle will be on a scale unlike anything humanity has ever witnessed. Section 9. The clock is ticking. While we cannot know the exact timing of Christ's return, the scriptures provide us with a framework for understanding God's plan. The Jewish calendar, with its unique millennial structure, offers a compelling perspective on the potential unfolding of end times events. The Apostle Peter's words about God's perspective on time remind us that God is not bound by our human limitations. What seems like an eternity to us is but a day to the Lord. This truth should inspire both patience and urgency in our walk with God. Whether Christ returns in the 21st century, the 31st century, or beyond, we must live in a state of constant readiness. The clock is ticking, and we must make the most of the time we have.